the adverse effect they have on all the futures, everything, and
We actually were talking about someone having 15 kids.
right, that's right.
I think that's where we left off at. And I was saying, I was more speaking to the fact of we're having all that many kids is kind of irresponsible because you should have the amount of kids you have, you should have the wage to take care of all those kids.
Agreed.
That's why, like, they would say for a man to have more than one wife, they had to have like a certain amount of money because you had to provide for each of them extra households. So having 15 kids and all these multiple kids is kind of irresponsible. Not kind of, it is irresponsible
Absolutely.
because it costs money to take care of these kids.
Yeah. Don't it?
And then if you think you're gonna leave it to the government to take care of these kids, the government ain't gonna take care of them. They're gonna give the bare minimum because I mean the hard fact is they know that they're gonna benefit off of it in some way, shape, or fashion. Whether if they wind up in prison or something, they're gonna be feeding off of them off of that, or
I mean, the same thing they feed in schools, they do feed in prison. So, you're right.
and when I say feeding off of that, I mean like they're gonna be getting money off of them for being in prison.
Ah, so you're talking about this capitalism for imprisonment.
Yes.
Okay. So private funded and private owned prisons, um, people of color are majority populated in there.
I feel like we targeted
Yeah.
because someone else could do the same crime and get a slap on the wrist
Hmm.
when the other do it and they get 25 to life.
Absolutely.
I don't know if it's a way for them to trim the economy or to try and maintain whatever social status they're trying to maintain, which is going away anyway. No matter how hard fight
That's
or
true.
try, that's getting eliminated. 'Cause you can't deny the power of melanin.
Man.
But I digress.
No, 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 no. Speak your truth.
So I want to get back on the deadbeat father thing. You know what else? It takes a real man to be able to step up and take care of someone else's children, someone else's responsibilities.
Absolutely.
And some might say, oh, you're getting played, or I mean, they might see it as a bad thing. They might see it as you you not really I don't know the word for it, but it takes a real man to really step up and be able to
Absolutely.
handle the other responsibilities that this man's supposed to be taking care of, especially if how you could not do nothing. I mean, you can't even send money for school clothes.
But you know the thing about it that's really crazy about the situation is,
Buy a school book.
you know, but when they do see their children, they want them to be dressed to the T so they can go out to the mall or they can go somewhere and they can say, "Oh, yeah, I bought my kids these Jordans right here." You know, it's tough, but it's what we got to do in life. We got to, as men, you got to make sure you take care of what you need to take care of.
You gotta be able to take care of the household.
Absolutely.
You gotta be responsible on your bills.
That's definitely true. But you know what? We staying on topic with deadbeat dads. You know, that's a topic that's really different for me because I didn't have a father who was a deadbeat dad. My dad served the military. When he wasn't deployed, he was involved. I mean, my dad and I built a treehouse together. He would take me fishing, hunting. My love for guns, because my dad would take me shooting. So, all of these were like very important moments in my life because my dad had those moments for me. My dad was a stepfather. And as a stepfather, he did a lot for his stepdaughters. And he didn't call them stepdaughters. He's like, that's my daughter. And when he and I had conversations, the conversations were always like, look, I couldn't call my sisters my stepsisters because he felt that was disrespectful.
I have the similar situation where, my father had stepchildren as well. Both of my parents, they were married before and they had children with who they were married with before, and then they got married and had children of their own. So, and my mother kids with her other husband lived with us, and it never came to my mind to be like, oh, that's my stepsister or nothing like that. It was always, that's my sister.
Right.
I don't even understand why you gotta be like, oh, that's the stepsister, that's my stepbrother. Like, if you have the same parent, that's your brother, that's your sister.
Yeah.
If it's just one parent. Now, if it's like through marriage, I might understand the step then.
But even so, for that point, it's like, that's family. And I tell a lot of people, you can't really say who you can't choose your family, your blood family. But, as a step parent, you chose that kid. And, that's kind of like, that's dope within itself. So, but, yeah, I just think that we've got to stop. We've got to stop commending people who do what they're not supposed to do as men. Like, and we've got to stop doing that, because what happens is you get to a point where it's the norm. And,
you saying people commending them?
Yeah, it's like, like these women are like, well, she's not, well, maybe she should have chose better. He's not that bad of a guy, and really and truly, the truth is, he is. It's really that bad. And just because...
And they're making excuses for them.
Right. And that's where it goes back that you put women sonning their men. I like that term.
Yeah, we don't have to coin that.
And that's the thing. A lot of women, they do that quite often. And That's the problem. Stop treating these men as boys, and stop treating your sons and your as your little man. They're young men.